Hello, welcome back to Why So Sidious, a nerd podcast. This is where we talk Marvel, DC, nerd news. We've been covering things like the Thunderbolts movie review, Andor, The Last of Us. Today is our Week in Geek. We got a lot. We got the new trio of younglings cast in the Harry Potter franchise. We got Hulk in Spiderman, a big DCU cameo in Peacemaker Season 2, who dies in Doomsday, Avengers 5 or whatever, and much more. But before all that, we are at Why So Sidious Pod, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. So check us out over there. Give us a follow, like, subscribe. We appreciate it. And before we get into the news, Love's going to get the ball rolling with an update on our box office draft, which is an episode you could find down in our library where we drafted the 2025 movies. And we're going to sum up their box office totals at the end of the year and see who wins. So Love, where are we at?
Things are heating up. Most of us have multiple movies out now. We're about halfway through the year. So let's start off with Dave's team. So first he had Captain America Brave New World finishing at $415 million. Slightly under what we expected, but not horrible. And then we have his MVP of the year so far, Minecraft, at $948 million, almost $1 billion for the video game movie. And then just last weekend, a Mission Impossible Final Reckoning came out, and it already has $353 million over 2 weekends, so not bad, not bad. And he has Elio coming out next weekend, which I heard might be one of Pixar's lowest movies so far. So
that's the Pixar movie
we'll see
I
how
picked?
that ends.
Is
But,
that the alien one?
So far, so good. I think so. I'm not really familiar with the movie at all.
I'm not either, but I drafted it apparently.
Right, Pixar normally does good, but we'll see about this one. And then for my team, I'm not doing so well so far, I'll say that. I'm kind of 0 for 2, but last year I didn't have a strong start either, and I came back and won, so we'll see. Snow White, $204 million. I think Dave might have won Best Flop of the Year already with that pick. Good job, Dave.
He's cutting out. You got to roll.
Too delayed.
I was
Keep
gonna see if
going.
he's going to say anything back. And then Thunderbolts, only $369 million. Nice, but
Man.
also not nice. Wouldn't you expect more because of how good the movie was?
Exactly, man. That shows you. That kind of scares me for Fantastic Four. The Marvel trust must be low, or is it the IP? Should they have named it New Avengers previously? Maybe it's just the Thunderbolts IP, though. I don't know. With all that word of mouth, man, do people really not trust Marvel that much? Are they really not excited to go see them to that level? Because 5 years of mediocrity could do that, man. Scary.
And then F1 movie comes out at the end of this month in like 3 weeks. So I think I might be switching the Michael Jackson movie to F1 because I'm pretty sure it's going to get delayed. And F1 is projecting for like 700 million. So it might not be a bad replacement if that actually gets that much.
I remember, I think a trailer or something. They have a good cast. They have something working for them. Who's in that movie?
There's a good director. Is it Brad Pitt? Who's in the F1 movie? There's a big main actor. Yeah, Brad Pitt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. That seems too cliche, actually.
Right.
Need a Miles Teller in there.
Top Gun Maverick director.
That is maybe what stood out. That could be cool. So see what he could do with cars, Ford v Ferrari. What are you going to really do different in this one?
Exactly.
We'll see.
But I might be having F1 and F4 on my team this year by the end of it, so we'll see. I might be switching Michael Jackson to F1. I think that's going to be my final decision. It comes out in like 3 weeks. And then with JD's team, we first have Sinners, which I think is about done with its theatrical release. It comes out on digital like today or tomorrow. $350 million. So solid, JD. Solid pick.
Yeah, I was actually hoping it was going to skyrocket past that. Not skyrocket. I was looking at 600. That's what I had it on as my list, despite other sites having it lower.
Right. And then
cool. I'll take it.
Lilo and Stitch came out last weekend. It already has $613 million in 2 weekends. So it is banging out the money. And then Karate Kids came out this weekend, a couple days ago if you're live on YouTube, the 30th. And it has 46 million opening weekend. I've seen a lot of reviews saying it's not a very great movie, a great remake, so that might be kind of a Snow White. Yeah, that might be kind of a Snow White $200 million movie, but hey, you are making up with Lilo and Stitch, and Sinners was a solid pick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Heard it was terrible.
Yeah, did you hear it's the Top Gun Maverick director?
By the way, F1,
Right,
I think
right.
F1's going to be dope. I'm just throwing it out there while I am not skipping, but I think it looks dope. I think they're getting like first-person cinematography, like getting
So,
that
yeah,
vibe.
and
of,
then
like, you're
JD,
in the
you have How to
cockpit
Train
of
Your
the
Dragon
F1
coming
car.
out
Like,
next
I feel like it's
weekend,
actually going to be
and
pretty
then
dope.
Jurassic Park
I
and
might see that in
Superman in
theaters,
July,
believe it or
and
not.
then you're done for the rest
That's
of the
it.
year. So you're a real first half type of guy.
No, but
Yeah.
that makes
And me and
sense.
Dave
Okay.
got two
Yeah,
movies
'cause
coming
they
out in
did
November
that
for our
cockpit
final
kind of first-person
two.
experience in
So
that
we'll
movie too.
See how it all wraps up.
It's going to be stressful waiting so long to
So
see if
far-
I win or lose.
I think Dave's definitely winning. You're in second. I'm in last by a long shot.
Well, I definitely expect to be winning in July. Just I can't be too happy with that as far as the whole year goes.
Oh yeah, right.
All right, and that wraps it up for the box office draft. And then for the first few topics, I
Nice.
guess we're going to stay outside of the nerd, Marvel, DC, Star Wars stuff, because Stranger Things dropped a trailer first of all.
It's fair.
So, did you guys see this trailer, or it was more of a teaser, but it was also very different from a teaser? They kind of flashed back to previous events, summarizing what led up to this moment, and then they pushed forward with new footage. I thought the new footage was epic. I thought it just looked epic. I thought it looked action-packed and crazy, emotional, and this is the conclusion, right?
Final season.
Yeah, and it feels that way. So, did you see it, Lub? How'd you feel about it?
I watched it last night, actually. I thought it was kind of funny how they used the old clips for the first, 2 minutes of the trailer, or minute and a half, and I was like, yeah, because they're so old now that they're going to have to, de-age them or something, and I was... Because one of the characters, Caleb, what's his name in the... Yeah, what's the character's name? But anyways, if you remember, let me know, but his little sister just graduated high school. Remember her?
Wow.
Yeah, she was like... She was 12 years
McLaughlin.
old in the last season, it felt like,
How
and
do
she
I
just
remember
graduated
that?
high school.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so it's been what? I mean,
remember his
think of it. It
random
was
real
like
last
our
name.
third or fourth podcast we ever
God.
did was Stranger Things season 4
Yeah.
3 years ago.
You're welcome.
That's
So we'll
nostalgic.
definitely have to cover this for the nostalgia
Erica?
factor of this podcast.
I remember her name.
Yeah,
I can't remember his though.
but the release schedule was so weird.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that? It said
If that.
November
so volume
26th,
1,
yeah.
whatever that is that because isn't it
3
supposed to end with a
episodes.
movie? Isn't it supposed to end with a movie? Didn't we hear that?
Yeah.
That's something
I'm
different.
not
Forget
sure.
that.
I'm not sure.
But what it said, and it's unclear, it's pretty vague, but volume 1 is November 26th. Volume 2 is on
Yeah.
Christmas, and the finale is on New Year's Eve. So
Maybe
that's really
like-
strange.
3, and then 2 or something.
Yeah, don't ask me, man. We're just going to be talking.
I don't think so. I don't know.
I kind of like that.
Am I really going to be watching Stranger Things on Christmas, though? I mean, yeah, it's there for tomorrow or whatever, but still, it's kind of weird.
Hell,
New Year's Eve.
4-3-1.
Lucas, thank you.
4 episodes on November
that's
26th.
strange.
3
Dave,
episodes
did you see it? Did you
Christmas,
like it?
1 episode on New Year's Eve is what this is. That's an AI overview. I didn't even realize that. That could be wrong. It's weird. Right. But by the way, Lucas Sinclair is his name. Sorry. I did. So I watched it. Yeah, I mean, it does. The newer shots do look good. And, since they've been working on it for 20 years, that makes sense. They had some time to work on the VFX there. Whatever the hell they've been doing. No, I actually did. I've kind of lost my interest because it's been so long.
That was
so I haven't
intense.
even thought about it. Like, I haven't given season 5 a second of my time thinking wise over I don't know when, because it's totally out of sight, out of mind. I just haven't thought about the show. But this little teaser thing, it kind of got me ready for it. We got a quick glimpse at a couple cool shots, and of course the Will yelling run, but a little bit darker. And I think he's gonna have a massive role in this season. I do think he's gonna be the bad guy, and it's gonna be really interesting seeing how they kind of utilize that. And I'm just reminding you that I think
definitely.
Ellie's gonna have to
It
be
was
the
more
one
like
to
an
take down
announcement,
Will
too,
and
so we could
sacrifice
expect
herself to
much more
stop the
trailer
outside
action from that.
as she gets trapped under there. But did I say Ellie? It's not Last of Us 11.
True.
Hopefully Ellie
Your
gets
fans are
trapped
gonna,
down there,
yeah,
too.
that's true.
No, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they're gonna need some new
I'm
fans,
looking
I guess,
forward
to
to
jump
it.
on. They'll do a big old
It did
trailer.
its job
I'm
as a
excited
teaser.
for it. Still, not gonna lie, but we don't need it. We're watching it.
I'll probably rewatch last season before the new season comes out.
Yeah, because we all liked it a lot, isn't it?
It was
All of
really
our
good.
favorite
I don't even know how
seasons,
much
really good.
maybe
more I
minus
need.
Season
Just,
1 still.
I'm ready. Just give me
I
the
don't know.
freaking
But yeah.
recap on the last season, and let's
Excited to
watch
see where
season
they take
5.
that
I don't need
new
another
villain and
trailer,
everything.
Really. Yeah.
Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Our next topic is an Elden Ring movie. what the heck? Alex Garland officially set to direct an Elden Ring movie, and favorite game of all time for me, period. I don't think this is going to be a good movie, but I don't really... we'll see. We'll see. Let me see a trailer. Dave, what do you think about an Elden Ring movie? But
I haven't played the game yet. From what I know, it's basically Game of Thrones meets Dark Souls.
I don't know about that.
I've seen clips, plenty of it, but yeah, all my friends, including you, really like the game. So as far as the movie goes, yeah, I'm a little skeptical too. My first thought is, George, you better just stay the hell away from it. You don't get to work on anything anymore. Yeah. Well, yeah. No, but the fact that you just said Alex Garland, I'm always here for an Alex Garland project, to at least give it a shot. I mean, this dude, I really like the work he's done. Even though Civil War, disappointed us, I thought it was still a cool movie. I just think the expectations were kind of a cause for the fall. Warfare, very different movie. But I still enjoyed it to an extent.
It was too overwhelming
Ex
for me to
Machina,
try.
Annihilation. I mean, this dude has been on so many solid movies, and 28 years later is coming out too, which I can't wait to see.
Want that big movie?
I'm open to him being behind any project that's going to get my interest, and then you have Elden Ring type of fantasy behind it.
Well, I was going to say there's just not.
I'm definitely
curious
to see what
something. There's not a lot of politics from like. There's a lot of like mythological lore and freaking crazy ass monsters. Yeah, it's like the point of the game is these ridiculously hard bosses, so that's why I don't see it on screen, man. Yeah,
interesting.
Day Ex Machina became one of my favorites right when I saw that movie, so I didn't know he directed that. That's exciting. Okay, and visually,
the lead actor is Kit Connor, which he was just in that Warfare movie that we
visually,
just watched.
Of course, Zack Snyder,
but I don't really know who that is.
Would fit perfectly. He looks pretty young, because whether or not, I mean, his movies have sucked, but visually, he's one of the better, more unique storytellers in that dark.
It's a great
setting.
Movie. Yeah. Medieval. And Annihilation is worth a watch too, if you haven't seen it.
Enough about the sun.
Well, wait. Here's a quick plot for the game, and this does sound kind of cool.
Straight up.
As a result, the lands fell into chaos and ruin. Many became the Tarnished, losing their grace and being banished from the land. The player, a Tarnished, is drawn back into lands between, guided by grace to restore the Elden Ring and become the new Elden Lord, thus ending the stalemate and potentially shaping the fate of the world. Yeah, right.
Well, it's pretty. It's pretty spot
shattering
on,
shattered. Back to the only shattered.
The only problem is we don't know what the hell the Elden Ring if you have never played the game. So you're like, who like. But, powerful ring, man. We all know about those. When you break it down, like in its simple terms, and I'm like, shit, maybe that would be pretty good.
I was lost.
But as a movie, I think I'm back. Let's do this. Probably could be the best movie of all time. Now that I'm really thinking about it, I don't know if there's any other movie that could beat it. No, but I want them to focus on that prologue, though. You start the game after the war and the Elden Ring's broken and stuff, and now the journey begins to fix it. It'd be really cool to focus a good portion of that movie on the prologue, which we didn't see. The war that led to whatever.
Yeah, give it like a good Fellowship 10-minute prologue. Start the movie.
Yeah. I want to dive deep into it, not just a narrated prologue. Give me 30 minutes of that. That missing piece of the story, I think, would be awesome. And then I think the rest of it would be. I think that is cool. It's a journey to find a ring, man. We're about it. Yeah. All right, let us know what you guys think about an Elden Ring movie. Our next topic is Harry Potter series, man. They got the trio cast. Hermione, Ron Weasley, Hermione Granger, and Harry Potter himself. Harry Potter is Dominic McLaughlin. Hermione is Arabella Stanton. And Ron Weasley is Alistar Stout.
Nice name.
I have a bunch of questions as like a half fan of the Harry Potter stuff. Do you think it's going to have the same exact vibe as the... I mean, they're obviously going to try to be unique, but I'm trying to say for maybe... You think this is going to go more towards adults or more towards kids, or stay right where it's at as far as the Harry Potter vibes? Because I'm right on the fence, and if they go a little bit more, a little bit more adult-oriented, I think I would fall in there. And also, how do you feel about the cast? I'm not really familiar with these names, Leb.
Well, these are 3 unknown actors, pretty much. So I don't know if I don't think they've done any big roles, maybe like commercials or something. So that's good. You don't want to, you want to make them to be Harry Potter, not think of them as someone else. When it comes... Yeah, right. I feel like they're gonna go in between adults and kids, kind of like a Star Wars feel.
Pretty much same
as before.
Yeah.
But I think it could be a good idea to expand a 2-hour movie into an 8-hour show, because I guess they did leave a lot out. You could expand the characters a lot more, the side characters. And we pretty much got most of the cast now. I mean, we're probably not going to cast Voldemort till season 3, right? You don't need to cast him in the first 2 seasons. Wait, don't let that get spoiled or leaked, and But yeah, I like it so far.
Yeah, Dave, what do you think?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot to say about it. I'm glad that Ron Weasley still is the little pale ginger kid. I think you got to keep that aspect behind him.
Arabella for Hermione.
Outside of that, I guess I don't really care much.
She
sounded, the kids.
It sounded
the
like
movies, we didn't know
Emma,
who they were. They were just children. They got their career starts with Harry Potter,
Watson,
and now it's time for a new generation of
sounded like she was almost
young
like
actors to get their career start with Harry Potter.
Accent,
so yeah, I think it's fine. I mean, they're kids. We'll see what they do.
Okay. How do you guys want this to play out? Because part of my issue with the whole Harry Potter thing is I love the beginning, and then Watson. I think I would love the Voldemort stuff, but it's like 9 movies down, and I don't want to press play without all the middle stuff that I know I don't like. I guess what I'm getting at is I think it'd be dope to do Voldemort a little quicker. Like let them know who. Not like just defeat him right off the bat.
No, yeah.
I wish I knew more about Voldemort, like in the first 4 movies, and then I'd probably be more willing to. I don't know. That's kind of weird and picky.
Well, Dave, what's the Thomas Riddle movie? Is that later? Yeah, see? So Chamber of Secrets is young Voldemort the whole time.
I gotta rewatch that. Okay. Right. Well, so you think they're just going to follow the books again? Like do the same thing as pretty much? Okay.
But expanded.
Okay, cool. That would be sick.
Personally, I didn't mind that. I kind of see where you're getting at, JD.
Fire.
But yeah, I kind of like the slow rollout. But also, I read the books too, so I guess I was kind of expecting a slow rollout. Yeah, I think they're going to do it even more so. Yeah, they're going to be more accurate to the books because the movies kind of varied here and there.
Right?
The way I heard it, it sounded like they wanted to have the potential to be that accurate to the books. Like, let's not do movies, let's do shows, and then we can really get all the plot points that we skipped. I
actually found myself kind of
excited for this one. They skipped a decent amount of plot points from the books and the movies because
we'll see how that goes.
You don't have as much time, obviously.
Let us know what you all think in the comments. And our next topic is...
I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
December
next
year. It's just simply a stacked year.
You make changes like
especially for the box office, when we're going to be drafting. All these movies are probably going to be drafted on our box office next year. But we're looking at Shrek 5, Ice Age 6, Jumanji 4, Dune Messiah, and Avengers Doomsday. This might be the biggest movie month. Like, this has to set a record for the biggest movie month, maybe. And I imagine like a Barbenheimer and then like flipped with a few more people, just an orgy of box office wins. I mean, potentially.
It's Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, that's winning. That's winning. Shrek's not going to beat that.
What
the hell?
Whatever. 5, 4, 3, and 2.
Yeah. When I said that out loud, I was like, wait a minute.
Doomsday. There you go. I know this is a little ridiculous based off what you just said and how that's surprised. I'm almost most surprised by that sentence. How the hell did we get to Ice Age 6?
This is the question.
When did we get to 6 Ice
Ages? Dune Messiah and Avengers Doomsday come out the same day as of now.
No, I think Dune's
that's a wild December though. That'll be. I mean, honestly, only 2 of those is going to affect me. I'm only going to see Dune and Doomsday. I'm not going to see the other 3.
Easy.
But
Doomsday?
If you have kids, especially, it's a big month.
That's true.
That's
true. Which movie's going to be better?
That's a different question because I like that the book is weird, but I think that they're
Doomsday. I'm seeing that right off the bat.
I think Denny's going to do something amazing.
Especially
I think Messiah will be
of Messiah,
something really different.
Unfortunately, drastically dropped.
Better movie. I'm not confident in saying Doomsday.
So I'm like, I'm going to watch it, but Doomsday for sure.
Just the nerd comic in me. I'm going to probably be smiling more during Doomsday.
Yeah, I don't know. Exactly. Yeah. I do agree with you, though, JD. And it's weird, like, as disappointed as I am by the book, there's also the other side of it where it's disappointing, but there are a lot of cool aspects that I can see Denis making
for that.
dope. Like, I could see him making it so much better than the book itself, like you just said.
What are y'all going to see? What
So
do you
yeah,
think's
I
gonna
don't
be the
want that
best
to
movie?
come
What
off
do you
that I
think's
have no
gonna
hope
have
in
the
the
highest
movie.
that's
I
not
think
a
just
question.
that
No, it's gonna have
aspect.
the highest box
If
office.
there were
Anyway,
any
now we're gonna get into Marvel.
question as to which one I'm going to first, Doomsday is for sure the first one I'm going to
Avengers Doomsday, as we said, winning the box office, and they have some news, and you might be wondering why they were in December 26. I heard a way different date, maybe some other week. But that's because just recently they switched the schedules for Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. So Doomsday's coming out, as we said, December 26th, and then Secret Wars is now coming out 1 year later in December 2027. So that raises the question about Spider-Man, because every single time Spider-Man Brand New Day comes up, we're like, okay, is it going to be grounded? Well, it's taking place before Doomsday. Now it could be grounded. It's after Doomsday. That means it's going to be a multiversal story. So now, of course, as soon as Doomsday switches its time, the first question everyone asks is, is Spider-Man going to move? Or what does that mean for Spider-Man? Does that mean Spider-Man doesn't play into Doomsday at all? It could do its own thing no matter where it is. Dave, how do you feel about all this news? But you don't know the story. Yeah, they did have it that way. They had it that way. Yeah.
I think that is how it should be. I think Spider-Man should happen before Doomsday. I think that is the natural order of things. I don't, but I still feel confident. I just, it's just going to feel more jarring if we go to Doomsday, all this crazy stuff happens, and then we go to the Spider-Man that doesn't really connect to it at all, which I know we've done that in the past, but that's kind of happened because of delays with Marvel. Shifts have happened, and now you're watching a movie that doesn't address this massive event that just took place. But I just feel like this makes it cleaner to do the Spider-Man Peter finding himself kind of deal, street level, boom bang. He gets ready, even if he's not in Doomsday. The Doomsday thing happens, but now we know that we've got our peak Spider-Man over here who has learned responsibility and leadership and yada yada, and he's ready to come and save the day.
Exciting event. But I also don't care where it comes out first.
Avengers movie after that. Oh boy.
Anyway, sorry.
Secret Wars. Good God.
How do you feel about all that?
I like it better coming out before.
I think it's good.
Like what Dave said, where,
first.
the last movie resets Spider-Man's whole story. No one remembers him. This would get his feet wet back again in New York because he's obviously been hiding for a while. And also, I don't think this changes the story very much. I feel like they can just push forward with whatever they're going to do. Maybe it'll make more sense now. I mean, I guess it was after Doomsday. There would be a lot of questions unless Doomsday took place entirely in a different planet or city, what I mean?
Yeah, when you put it like that, I do actually overall agree before would be cleaner. You said the word cleaner was
right.
I think who said that? I think it was you.
One of Black Screen.
That would be cleaner, right? No, I get it. Yeah, because it's all crazy multiversal and then back to Spider-Man. That doesn't make sense. Right. But then, so do you think it's just going to stay at that spot? You don't think they're going to move it at all? Because if they already planned it, or does that just tell us that it really just doesn't have anything to do with Doomsday? And
right.
So,
could.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Mr. Negative is one of the rumored villains. So that's just a classic. You remember from the game, right? So that's just a classic Spider-Man villain. So I would like to see, just a good old, because every Spider-Man movie has been either Iron Man tied or multiversal other Spider-Mans tied. Just give me a good Tom Holland movie where he can kind of just stand on his own.
I totally agree there. Yeah, he's got to put his head in a dryer. Mr. Negative was introduced in Brand New Day too, the first arc.
Okay.
First appearance was Brand New Day. Yeah. Yeah. So that also, we have news that Hulk is supposed
Scorpion
to,
time.
News, I should say rumored, that Hulk is supposed to appear in Spider-Man. And that has me wondering about remember the Hulk leaked images where there was a Hulk city in
Seriously?
Doomsday. Remember there was a bunch of...
So he's going to be in it.
Concept art. And you saw Dr. Doom as the Emperor.
I feel like
you
that's
saw
in the cards.
Peter Quill and the Young Avengers hanging out. And then you saw a bunch of other stuff, but Hulks. A ton of Hulks in a city. Yeah, so...
You got to watch out for AI. Because I swear I saw a video today of Dr. Doom hugging Spider-Man.
I know,
was
but this
AI.
was
and
a couple months ago.
It looked
was,
real.
I know, this isn't just a random creator, though. I'm pretty sure someone from Marvel that is known to be from Marvel dropped.
But I just pulled it up and
I'm
now
almost positive I
What
heard
the
that,
hell?
but I know they're more official than a random AI thing, especially because they...
She-Hulk, too.
They seem pretty accurate. Anyway, that brought me to a thing where you could do Spider-Man a movie, which
Well,
I
they're
don't
pretty-
want this. I'm just saying you could
They're
do it
close.
with, I guess, Spider-Man in that Hulk city or dealing with some kind of issue. But that, I take all that back. But what do you think about Hulk and Spider-Man, period, Dave? That to me, that sounds exciting, but I just don't know where they're going to go with it. Yeah.
Yeah, confused. I would say that leaves me feeling confused. And I'm not saying it shouldn't be done. It can't be done. I'm just saying of my own personal lack of knowledge
Like
as
Hulk
far
and
as
Captain America. Sorry.
some of the Hulk storylines in Spider-Man. And it doesn't even necessarily have to
which
have a
is
comic
weird, though.
background to it. You know, it could just be a new thing. But
Yeah.
my thought on it is I think it takes away from the street level aspect a little bit. I feel like that would add some crazy aspects to the storyline, which again, I'm not totally against. I'm just kind of stuck in my little street level sentence that we've all been saying. Yeah, it
How about they
could
use
play out that
Hulk
way.
in the first act of the movie to set up Doomsday?
That felt random.
to where
It did
he's
feel
there,
So yeah,
something
that,
crazy
I guess it
happens,
just feels
and then
like
he
kind of like they're
pieces
forcing
out,
it to make it
bounces,
happen.
and then that
And
story.
maybe
more
they do it in a
forced.
really good way.
Right, that was
My
the
initial
force, but if
thought
they're
is
gonna
it
throw,
feels
you don't want him
forced.
in you don't want him in the whole movie though.
Your
You don't
finger
want
out
him
my
like
face, love,
the
what?
villain of the third act, because then it's going to be another pointless end
What
to a
if-
movie.
What if it's just Peter's new freaking science father figure guy? Because they're scientists. That, if it's a lot of Bruce Banner and then a couple Hulk scenes would be awesome. Like, could you imagine, dude, Spider-Man versus Hulk on the big screen? Just a little Avengers like fight each other
Yeah.
before we
Professor
team up. Clip,
Hulk?
please. They're bringing him back. I swear. I feel it in my bones that they're bringing Rage Hulk
Yeah.
back soon,
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that.
dude. Yeah.
No, Professor Hulk.
That'd
No,
be
no,
so
no. Dude, but no, I agree with you,
Yes.
actually. I think a Spider-Man versus Hulk action sequence could be amazing, honestly. I would love to see it because Spider-Man doesn't have to hold back. We get to see him swinging all out, seeing actually how strong he is. So, actually, you just got me
I was
hyped
just
thinking about that because that's a great addition to the resume of Spider-Man and his fans based
yeah.
on his strength. Like, we got to see him take on the Hulk. There was the other aspect about it where I think, JD, you said it, that he's the only one who remembers
That'd be
Peter.
cool.
Was it? But
Yeah,
something
and
about the
Hulk's
Hulk,
not going to be someone that could
he
punch
was
his
the
way
Hulk
through Mr.
when the spell
Negative,
happened with
so, like,
Strange.
Spider-Man
And
was
so
able to
now
figure
either
it out.
one or the other, either Bruce or
like,
Hulk,
if it was
actually
Scorpion
is
and
the only
Hulk's in
one
the
who
movie, come on.
remembers who Peter Pan is, and that
Yeah.
could totally lead to the new scientific mentor,
Yeah.
like you were just saying there, JD. So
All right, let us know what you
I
guys
guess
think
there
about
are more
Spider-Man,
connections
Hulk,
that could be
Avengers,
possibly made
schedules,
than I initially thought of.
all that stuff. Now we're moving on to one more topic, and that's quote. So there was a Hemsworth post, heartfelt, saying goodbye. It kind of had the vibe of I'm gonna miss
It'd
you
be
guys.
fun. You
this
could
and
grab
that.
him by his
Yeah,
tail,
didn't say
give him
that
the old
directly,
Loki
but
treatment real easy.
Felt like a goodbye, but probably headcanon fans just like reading too deep into everything. So whatever, he could very well not be dying, but does Thor die in Endgame is the question.
Doomsday.
If Thor doesn't die, like who do you think it could die? Sorry, Doomsday. You're right. If not Thor, who do you think are some of the big potential people who could die, if any? Because it's Marvel and only like Phil Coulson dies. So yeah, Dave, you think Thor will die? Who else could die? Oh, you're just okay.
God, dude, I guess. I mean, that's a solid way to show Doom's strength by having him kill Hulk.
That'd be
That
wild.
could be a scenario.
Jesus.
It's
Yeah,
since
sorry.
he's not an alien, you'd have to deal with
Thor.
No,
flesh
I
and blood,
didn't
and they
say
can't do
Thor.
it.
That's
No, that's
sadistic,
stupid.
Dave.
They would just burn it or
I
whatever,
guess
like
that's
Black
a power
Adam does to
move
people.
to have Doom wipe out
It'd be weird
Thor,
with
one of
Thor.
the
It'd be
strongest beings
devastating.
we've seen in the
The
MCU.
kids
It'd
would
be
to
so
show exactly
devastating.
how-
Oh my god.
Maybe
It'd be
Thor is
worse
the
than
Thanos.
Infinity War.
Maybe Doom rips Thor's spine out at the end of Doomsday, and that's his send-off, something wild. I don't know, though. That's true. But it wouldn't be as cool. Yeah, it wouldn't be as cool as ripping the spine out. It would be heartbreaking. Yeah. The last time we saw him, he was just raising his daughter, being all cute. The next time we see him, his spine's being ripped out in front of children across the world. That would be hell of a move by the MCU. It's a power statement. I don't know. Yeah, I would. As bad as Love and Thunder was, I just feel like I would be depressed if Thor was no longer in our MCU and being able to join in our team ups. Yeah, dude, JD's legs are hurting just thinking about it, and I don't blame him.
My only thing is it's
No,
his
I'd be really
time,
sad.
man.
I
He's
would
been here
miss
too
Chris
long. He's
Hemsworth
too
and
old.
Thor.
so
I feel like
he's been here longer
he's
than
not
maybe
Iron
if
Man,
he shows
he's not
up.
Cap,
Except
like
for Downey, he's
they
a
were
different
kind of the
character from
centerpieces of
cheating,
the
but,
Avengers. But I feel like
as
he
the
is
same
one
character.
of them.
He's
Still,
got to be
I
the
think
longest on
he's
contract
one of the
after
hearts
his next
of the
appearance.
team, and
like the longest from his
it'd be a
first
bummer,
movie to
man.
his
The
next-
MCU
his
would feel
last
like it was
appearance.
missing
It's the
something
longest,
if Thor
right?
wasn't
Maybe
around,
most
in my
movies or
opinion.
something. His time's coming, man. So that's the only reason I think he could die. And otherwise, I don't know who else could
Yeah.
die. I got nothing there. And
I think
he'll die.
I say at least half the Thunderbolts Dead. Bucky?
Just kill
Bucky's
him.
dead.
Why are you just gonna kill off all the Thunderbolts? It was a good movie.
Yeah,
That's a good movie,
Why
but they
didn't
didn't
you
make
kill
me
off the
enough
Suicide
money.
Squad?
Kill him.
It is.
That's true. Unfortunately.
Yeah, they're all gonna be in it. Oh, dude, don't kill Bucky. I mean, he doesn't do anything ever, but
He's young, but he's just been... Yeah, he's old is just the reference to Happy
on
Gilmore,
one hand,
but like, it's
if
just
you
he's been
killed
in
Bucky,
the MCU so long,
you're
and you don't want to
literally
be there
at this
forever.
point, the way they're using him, we're not losing anything because they don't really
Chris
use
Evans?
him. But
Whatever he
I would
comes
be
back
impressed.
as?
This is
Bring him
one of my
back to
favorite
die
characters
again.
too.
I don't know. He's probably sticking around forever.
I
We
mean,
just
Chris
don't know if he's young
Hemsworth is
or
only
old.
41.
Or
I
what
know
is
he's
he?
been around this for a while, but he could look yoked as Thor for,
Ooh, yeah. No, that's the power play. I think so.
Someone has to die, right?
I think that's a
Yeah,
good power
no,
play.
I
Well,
get
but I still
that.
think the X-Men are the Doom's henchmen to some extent before they're like, nah, fuck you. For the Avengers versus X-Men incursion battle.
They need to
I'm
be like
still
dead though.
on
We
the
can't,
fact
like,
that we're going to
snap
see
them
the
back.
OG
They will,
X-Men
yeah,
just get
like,
slaughtered.
dead.
Oh, they're worse than Thor. They've been
Just
around
gonna
longer.
bring them back to finally end them for the fourth time.
Whoa! Come on.
Bucky takes the mantle. Yes, because now he's a senator. He's accepted.
That'd be cool,
no,
too.
the Captain America mantle. No, sorry, you meant Falcon, the new one.
Whoa, JD.
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
For some reason, my brain was just
Right.
like Captain America's Falcon.
Falcon, he's dead. It'll be a little boost for Sam Wilson. Yeah,
That's because you don't like him.
Bucky
He just
can
wants to
fly.
die.
and now, wait. Oh,
No, the first dance he
but-
did.
Yeah,
after
yeah,
his-
yeah. No,
that
not
was
Sam
terrible.
Wilson.
After that,
I was
he's
gonna
fine.
say no. He's not
That
done.
was bad first taste.
No, I'm good with Sam Wilson sticking around. No, Joaquin Torres. I think he gets rocked, just torn apart, and then Sam's like, "My buddy," and it fuels his rage.
There's like 70 people.
I
in
don't
the
even
movie.
mind him that much. I kind of liked him in the cow. I think JD didn't like him more than I didn't like him in the.
Since when do they
Yeah,
reduce
okay.
their lineup by more than one? Well, they never really kill
But
anyone.
people, there's got to be at least
but
three,
also
four
the other
deaths.
difference is
And if
it'll
it's
be a
only 3 or
reboot
4, I
after
think
Secret
that's light. I think we need to see like
Wars.
10
So,
deaths
yeah, I
based
do
on the
expect
cat. Yeah,
the
exactly.
most real deaths in this one,
Just
right?
you
Century?
know,
Sorry,
just
Endgame.
randomly
What's the
picking out of the
Secret
lineup.
Wars? There should
Cassandra
be the
Lang,
most deaths between
Miss
those two movies,
Marvel, Falcon. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. It's time.
Now you have an agenda here.
though. Loki Hulk smash her. No, she's great.
Yeah.
Innocent civilians.
Agreed. It's Doom. You got to show his power.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
what you do is you grab
Try
Aquafina
to
from the
shoot an arrow at
Shang-Chi
him?
movie. You put her in there and get
She
her
learned
just
in
get
5 minutes?
torn apart.
Well, so you think Thor's dead, Caleb? I don't know if we got a direct answer. That could
Yeah,
be
it's
my
fine,
bad.
yeah.
We went off the rails quick, but I liked it.
Get her in there.
Um,
Hey, you killed a
I'm
legendary
gonna say, well,
dragon. You
Loki-
must be
Loki's
all
in the
powerful.
movie too, so that's interesting. The Thor Loki aspect that could come
Can't
into
wait
this.
for that reunion.
What if they both die?
Loki's a wild card. Nah, he ain't going back. He ain't going back. But that was a
Yeah,
joke.
sorry.
Thor fakes his death. How about that?
And
Pulls-
Deadpool.
he pulls a little Loki on him.
Yeah. And if he does die, I think it'll be a sacrifice. It'll be like the Bifrost will have something to do with connecting the universes or something. And he's
Loki
gonna
kills Thor.
hold it together with his, well, the universes shred him apart. But he
Nah.
held the Bifrost together.
I'd rather see Doom kill him than him
Yeah, I
go out
would
like that.
probably, but they're not that ballsy.
Oh, it's
They're
his
not
turn.
that ballsy, I don't think, for a hero. That's
Fine, you want the spine out?
fine.
Yeah.
I would be dope. Let us know what you guys think. Is Chris Hemsworth dying? That's dark. Is Thor gonna?
That's the only way
die
I'd
in
sick
accept
for a
it.
second there, so yeah.
All right.
Kills
We don't
Thor,
want that
I'm
much
okay.
death. Just
No,
at
it doesn't
least
even have to
10
be the
in
spine.
Avengers
It can be
Endgame,
something
but
different. But
Chris Hemsworth can stick around.
that's the only way I'll
But
accept
next, we
Thor
got
dying.
DC. Peacemaker Season 2 is coming out. James Gunn on social media said there's going to be a big cameo. We also have a bunch of other details. So, yeah, first of all, who do you think this giant cameo could be? Lub,
was
just a
gonna
few
say, he is
ideas. I
having
think we're all
health
thinking
issues,
Batman,
actually.
so choose Zatanna or something,
Right?
No,
Maybe Lex Luthor?
no, I think when he says big, I don't think it's someone we're already going to be.
Introduced to?
It's, but maybe.
You think someone new?
I feel like the vibe seems like new, like surprising. Big cameo doesn't scream like someone you just saw last movie. But then again, Superman or Lex Luthor would be a big cameo.
I just don't see. I think they're holding off on Batman.
They also showed Batman and Creatures Commandos, though. We already
That's
got an Easter
true.
egg there.
That's true.
So they know we want Batman. But who else would be exciting? Who's a big cameo? that would, in James Gunn's eyes, that could mean anything. But like, if you think,
It's tough picking a hero that could fit in Peacemaker. After
maybe
seeing
it could
the
be a
first
villain
season
too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
or,
you're right.
anyone, because it feels so grounded and so like separate from like a Justice League type movie. So if I pick a member of the Justice League, maybe a Cyborg.
And we already know the JSA's in there too. This is going to be way more connected.
Right.
So it's like, all right, so if Hawkman and Green Lantern's not a big cameo.
Well, yeah,
You know,
Green Lantern would be,
Yeah.
right?
Could it be Deathstroke? Could it be like Waller? Could they be assembling a team of villains? Clayface? I don't know. Dave, what do you think?
August.
I got one.
August?
Yeah, like the month after Superman.
DCU, baby, let's go. Yeah.
Yeah. When does this drop? Because that'll kind of affect my answer. Of this year? Well, yeah, this year. Holy crap. Damn, okay, that kind of opens up stuff. My thought on this, so Batman actually, I actually really don't. That wasn't my pick at all. I don't think it's going to be Batman. I think Hal Jordan would make sense. It would lead into Lanterns, which is going to be coming out later and kind of show a reason for maybe why he's on Earth. It'd be our first Hal Jordan look since the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie, so it'd be a massive cameo. It'd be our kind of first glimpse, and we're getting a series that's going to involve him coming up, so it makes sense. It'd be a little tease for the next series coming.
Man, I had one, but
so
anyway.
I'm going with Hal Jordan.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's do that one. No, that's really exciting, though, just to know that there is a big cameo that sounds sick. Robins. I think any of the Robins could potentially show up. This is all grounded. How exciting would it be?
Wonder Woman would be
big-ass cameo if Nightwing
Peacemaker
or even just
hooks
Robin
up with
shows
Wonder
up.
Woman.
It could be Red Robin. That's very meta, very deep cut, but since Dynamic Duo's coming out, I guess, and we're skipping Origins, we got like our Nightwing and Red Hood already. So that would be, Red Hood would just drop my pants, but that ain't happening. But it could be anybody. I think Robin would be sick, though. I think the pop for that would be unbelievable for the first big screen, first live action Robin. No, sorry. First, like, potentially good live action Robin, though. But any of the other Bat family characters would just be a giant pop for the comic nerds, I guess, really, or the animated fans.
What about Booster Gold? Would that make sense?
That's a good one, too. He's got a movie coming out.
Or series. HBO Max series.
For sure. For sure, then. That's actually, dude, you might have nailed that one. Because he is totally the type of character that kind of grounded, but kind of weird, has weird tech, and like kind of goofy. Love. I know.
That would make sense.
With John Cena.
Yeah.
Possibility.
He wears a shiny helmet and like, yeah, that's all crazy. Has an eagle as a friend.
Eagle.
Goofy too.
Yep.
Dude, I'm
cool.
really looking forward to the season.
Let us know what you guys think.
I'm surprised at the hype I have for something called Peacemaker season
whatever
2,
it is.
but I am
That
really
wraps it up for
looking
DC. One more topic
John Cena. Ask
under
me
the
that 5 years
umbrella
ago.
of Star Wars, and that has to do with Darth Maul and his
gonna be
new
great.
series coming out, animated series called Shadow Lord. I'm going to hand this off to Lub. What do we got going on with Darth Maul?
We had an interview with Sam Witwer, of course, the voice actor of Darth Maul. And he says it's a show about bad guys versus worst guys, so they might be portraying Maul as their story. It will show the former Sith Lord reevaluating whether creating the Empire was a good idea. He said Maul's like, "Is that what Sidious had in mind? This is a little scary. Maul comes from a time of swords and sorcery and magic and knights, and now all of that color of the universe is being sucked out of this mechanized empire." And Maul's like, "Is this right? Is this the universe we were trying to build?" So this must be right after Clone Wars Season 7, right? Pre-Rebels, where he meets Obi-Wan in the desert, of course, and Ezra before that. So it's him building up his, what is it, Midnight Sun? No. What are they called?
Black Suns.
Crimson Dawn.
And the Black Suns. And the Black Suns.
Nah, wrong. Crimson Dawn, you idiots.
I wasn't excited about this, and that sounds pretty dope. Honestly, that sounds dope. Not only the lore aspect of the politics behind the Empire, as a man who has experience like managing
Both
some
sides.
gangs,
Yeah.
And then the weird sorcery, different universe stuff. What did it say? A medieval as a detail or something weird like that. That creates an environment where Darth Maul can let loose. Was right. That sounds like bad guys versus good guys, worse guys, bad guys versus worse guys in like a medieval setting, which I hate. Crossing people over into weird medieval settings, whatever that means in Star Wars. I usually hate it, but I don't know. Somehow Darth Maul in a savage environment like that sounds awesome, and it's also connected to some Empire samurai lore. Yeah, so I'm a little more pumped than I was.
We've said since the original trilogy.
Yeah, I think even though Darth Maul, obviously it's not just me, is a lot of one of our favorite characters, especially favorite new characters since the original trilogy. He's an incredible character. Everybody loves Darth Maul. I mean, let's be, you can roll your eyes there, but you know you like Darth Maul too. Everybody loves Darth Maul.
I'm just giving you shit.
Well, I just mean, yeah, a new character from past the original Star Wars. I think he's probably one of the higher fan favorites as far as new characters past Luke and Darth Vader go, kind of. Halfway. He was kind of already in it too. But I didn't say he was the number one. He's just in the top echelon of people's favorite characters. But even I was like, yeah, okay, I'm not super stoked on this. And I love animated projects too. And I wasn't stoked. But the more I thought about the final arc in Clone Wars Season 7 and the scenes between Darth Maul and Ahsoka and their conversations and the philosophy and Darth Maul's awareness of the Empire and Palpatine's plan and what it's turning into, and then we know we have Sam Witwer, who straight up embodies
it could be a sequel to Solo. What if they did Emilia
Clarke?
So I'm
not worried about that
as
aspect.
An animated character.
I get more intrigued thinking about Darth Maul's takes on the Empire and what happened and all that stuff.
But it sounds like young Empire.
I think if we didn't get that final battle with Ahsoka and Darth Maul, I think I'd be a little less interested. But I think that
post-credit scene in Han Solo, or
no, I'm speculating. I'm speculating.
Yeah, no, that'd be a cool idea, I think. Except for the whole Shadows of the Sith effect, where they keep going back.
Do we know the exact timeline for this yet?
That doesn't really sound like it would tie into that. But then again, it's very broad talking about him considering the structure of the Empire at all, so it can go anywhere.
I hope it's a good 12, 20-minute episodes too. Don't do this 3-episode, 15-minute arc, or you know what I mean. Do a full season.
And all I know is when Darth Maul is just in action, if he's slicing a lot of people up, it's gonna be good. That's how his comics are. If he's it's just really good to see Darth Maul, destroying people. It's really cool.
Yeah, tell a full story. If you're gonna do it, do a full story. Yeah. No, well, and I'm very curious on the animation style. Obviously, that's going to play a big role because you could have a show be amazing and then you switch that animation style to, I don't know. There are plenty of shows out there with goofy. Even Rebels. Rebels was a great story. If it was a different animation style, I feel like I would like it so much more than Clone Wars. But the animation style took me so long to get used to. And if we go super anime with this Darth Maul show, it depends because some of the anime and Vision series
is a creator.
I just didn't like.
And the
but
writer
some of the episodes
is the head writer for Star Wars
Clone
Wars Season 6 and 7.
I'm just very curious to see what the style behind all this is going to be. But it's interesting seeing they started talking about this and loosely planning it in 2021. So they have had time to think about this.
Darkness on
Umbara story
arc. I think that's one of the clone ones. And then, because it's Krell, that Jedi. Remember that? The Jedi who's a total asshole? That's a really good one. And then a 4-episode arc about Cad Bane and Boba Fett. So, and a Bad Batch arc with Yoda and Kashyyyk. So he's done some bangers.
Okay. Yep. Which is a good one. Yeah.
And I was, that was the comic I was thinking of that I like a lot. So that's really
He's
cool.
a legend.
Ooh.
That's awesome.
Ooh, and
way more pumped for that.
He co-wrote a 4-episode arc
for this now.
That featured Maul. Oh, that's okay. We already know this. That was going to be
Darth
in
Maul,
Clone Wars,
finally,
and it ended up turning into the comic
content. We're being
Darth
being
Maul,
picky
son
with
of
animated
Dathomir.
stuff.
He's the one who wrote that.
He wrote the story for Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah. So, that's him.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
He's a big Star Wars guy.
Yeah. What the hell? Give him the shoes of everybody, all the hierarchy. He's in control now. Because doesn't Kathleen Kennedy drop out or no? That didn't happen. That was false. That was a false news.
Conflicting reports.
Oh, did he?
And I couldn't spin
I love that.
Also,
I think
because
that
Dave
Fallen
Filoni,
Order
are we
first
still
game is
happy
a
with
really
him,
good
or
story.
Is he doing a good or bad job? Because he was creative. He's the new creative guy as of a year or two ago. Didn't really see much happen. I mean, Andor was. I think season 1 was still better, to be honest. But We haven't seen anything come out of that anyway. So
I
I'm
think that's just
confused.
been more
They haven't done much though.
teases and taunts and conflicting.
Yeah, and he's just Clone Wars.
Yeah.
He's
He's an
Ahsoka,
animated
Clone
guy.
Wars. His projects do good, and I'm like, that's great for whatever it is. But the
I know
whole
there's
Star Wars franchise,
more people out there
right.
than I thought
Interesting,
that
yeah,
don't
so maybe just give,
really trust him to take over. There's a good amount of the fan base out there that does not trust him to take over, thinks he's far too self-involved with his characters.
I absolutely
kinda
trust
stuck in
him
a
with the
bubble.
plan. Like we have
Yeah,
Ahsoka season
exactly.
2, and then the Thrawn climax movie, and the Mandalorian and Grogu. Those are his babies. So I'm
but
pretty
can
sure all
he
that's
do it
just going to
outside
be
of
good.
it?
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, let us know what
So
you guys
we'll
think
see.
about Darth Maul, Star Wars, David
I
Filoni,
personally still
Kathleen
trust
Kennedy,
him.
the
at
Star
this
Wars
point.
hierarchy.
I still trust him. I think,
And,
he does
that
need
wraps it
to,
up.
to make
Thanks
some
for tuning
plays,
in
but
to Why So
I still got
Sidious.
some faith in him.
Whoa.
I don't know what we're covering lately. We're going to do some Superman comics. We just did a crossover with the Galactic Core podcast covering the Azzarello Luther comic, diving deep into that villain. Check that out.
Dave and I got to finish Last of Us. We will be doing that soon.
Oh, we haven't done the Last of Us finale yet, I thought. Yeah.
The last 3 episodes, actually, 5 through 7.
Non-spoiler. It's all right. It's pretty good. Thanks for tuning in again. We'll see you next time on Why So Sidious, a Nerd Podcast. Bye, love. Love you, dude.
Love you.
Hey, Dave.
Dave's weird, man.
We have not.
Stop.
Yeah, if you like hearing ranting, tune in. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe. It's fine. I don't know what you guys' problem is.